Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to this very first. I don't remember how I I called that. I think it was like as I put CFS because CFS is the safe space that I have now. But I'm willing to transition to something like with no pressure because CFS is around, of course, which is the one getting a result that I definitely want to have. But I sometimes need no pressure. And I was actually thinking how when you guys arrive, I will tell you that for me, the first rule is this is a non pressure space. The reason why I called out and I was like, my heart is heavy. This journey is very lonely. I'm tired. I need like just woman uh, sisters to just who just feels the need to just heal together sometimes or just whatevering being together with no pressure, nor to perform or not to perform or to perform, no pressure. Just a space where for 1 hour a week we can just be ourselves, whether it is the entrepreneur in us, whether it's the woman in us, whether it is the woman, whether it is the I have a womb that I don't want it, whether it is the I'm tired and I just want to fill the space and not speak, whether it is, oh my God, I've got a win and I want to tell you all about it, whether it is, oh my God, everything went to shit and I need to tell you about it, whatever it is. It can be whatever as long as we stay in the energy of the womb, which is an energy of life, an energy of truth, an energy of kindness, even if it can be like there can be anger, but even if some of us can be warriors, this is definitely not the space to have debate, not the space to agree or disagree. It's a space where I am me, you are you. And the idea is that together we are going to figure out how I can be me, you can be you, and we can have a fair amount of space share so that at the end of the hour together or whatever, everybody felt like they were part of the womb height circle or whatever we're going to call that. And we are part of something bigger than ourselves that we don't have to win or lose or whatever. We're just part of it for 1 hour. We're just in the present. So no pressure. And I'm actually saying that for myself because I was just putting pressure on myself and I was like, I have invited people. I need to prepare. I need to do. And I was like, you created this because you don't want to be in an I need state of mind. Like, I remember one of my posts when I was like, honestym.com is need based and not needy based. Having a need and being needy are two different things. I definitely have a need for a lot of money. I have a need for a lot of friends. I have a need for a lot of shit. I really do. But I am not needy. It means I have the need. I say it. I can't even wake up every morning and be like, hey, is the morning there yet? Are the friends there yet? But I'm not needy in terms of if they're not, I'm gonna be like, okay, see you tomorrow. This is difference between need and needy. Need is like, I don't have it, and I don't have it, and whining and turning around circle, not being able to just be in the present and be like, I don't have it now. And I feel like it's urgent. So hey, what can I or we do to make it happen as soon as possible? This is being having a need and not being needy. Being needy is going around in circle just because you want to suffer. So as the whatever. You know what? I'm not even analyzing needy people anymore because I really cut. Today is a very special day for me. When we get started, I'm excited to share about that. But there is a before and an after. And to be honest, the kind of needy energy, I will personally have the courage to be like, you're too much. And that's the kind of space I want. I want a space where we can say to a sister when she's too much. We can say to a sister when she's not enough. We can just say whatever. If you don't know me, my name is Bekwadi BITO Adriana-Sophie. You have my name written somewhere because, I mean, it's his Zoom. So you can see the Bekwadi BITO, which is the art part, I guess, to write. I love people when they call me Bekwadi. So if you don't call me Bekwadi, I'm going to not love you. That's a very good way. I've never presented myself like that. But I think I'm going to say that now. I love people that call me Bekwadi. Then you choose where you are and you will know it. So I love people that call me Bekwadi. I actually do. They're my favorite. Um, I'm a continuous improvement engineer, Paris born, Cameroonian descent, definitely Afro world citizen. I'm going to confuse your mind because I can speak whatever language I need to speak to connect with whoever I want to connect with. In terms of the languages of this world that you know, I speak French, Duala, which is from Cameroon. My name comes from there. Bito means women. Bekwadi is my actually, it's Bekwadi is problem solving, which is definitely what engineering is. I speak Spanish too, for the fluent ones. You'll be surprised to hear me telling you stuff in Turkish, Indonesian, Fon, which is another African language, and any basic language that everybody knows. I would pretty much be able to say to you, thank you, hello, and did I say thank you already? Yeah, I'm very grateful now, which explains why my vibe is way better. So I'm an engineer, industrial engineer. Industrialization is about how I take one thing and I make it Coca-Cola, McDonald's, whatever it is that you use and that everybody knows because some bitches actually turn that one thing or one country habit into everybody's habit. So that's what my job is about. The best ones at these are the Japanese. That's why we call that Kaizen, because that's the way they call it. And let's be honest, they're the best. Kaizen as Zen, and we all know what Zen is about. So after I realized when I graduated, actually, which was 10 years ago, that it's funny because all I know in Kaizen is Zen. And when I do my job and when I see other people with me in my job, nobody is Zen. So I was like, you know what, bitches, I'm going to get the fuck out of your industries and I'm going to do engineering for peace. That's how I started on STM.com, social business for peace of mind and among ourselves in Australia, Melbourne in 2015 by writing, editing, printing, and selling my own book, the age book, the journal, like the journal, yeah, that's actually the journal, from personal reflection to collective reflection, where I actually apply the exact method and the exact way I started my own journey from honesty to peace, explaining how just being honest, free to be honest, hashtag FTBH life is the key to always go toward peace. As in, once you know what you want, just ask Uber or whatever, put it in the GPS, but it needs to be the precise address, and you're gonna get there and feel at peace and feel how you want peace. So I launched the book in 2016 in Melbourne. Best day. That was my wedding day for me. Best day ever. And then everything went too crazy, up downs, me being into CFS and other stuff. And now I'm back in France where I never wanted to be back. And I'm ready to this time like really live off my honesty and not like be on and complain and blah blah blah. I'm ready to be like the Daniel Leslie of actually honesty and peace. And for that, I'm realizing that I need my sisters around me because one of the big reasons I couldn't make it was because of my blood family. I'm sure we all know about that kind of link, that kind of bound. And now I'm like ready to, I've said goodbye to all of them. That's why I'm always alone in my house and stuff, which is very weird for me. But I'm not going to make it alone. I know that somehow we are family. I need all my sisters with me. Hey, hey, we are family. Uh, uh. Come on, everybody, and sing. So, because we are family, and I tried to make it about being Black women, I tried being about feminist women, I tried to make it being about men or whatever, and it would never work. And I was like, you know what? I'm looking for people that I can connect heart to heart, that have womb and understand how the womb can impact the truth and how the truth is actually in the womb, whether they like it or not. Because I'm tired of mansplaining or men's energy, and I think the planet had enough of that too. And that's pretty much it. And it started with CFS because CFS is the only community that I found that was the best community I could find with a good balance between ambition to actually reach a goal for real and not pretend to, and also kindness and femininity and intersectionality and multiculturalism and safe spaceness and thing while still being ambitious and not just be there to be like, oh, let's whine with one another and never get results, so that's why I usually feel safer to say my stuff first there. But then I'm like, okay, I am not, that's important for me to say that I am not part of the CFS team. I've tried to do things before and people thought that I was part of the team. So they started to complain about XYZ. And I was like, I am not paid or like, I am not a CFS coach. Like I'm an entrepreneur like you. I'm actually not even making the money you're making, and I don't have the husband in the house. I'm actually living in the street, doing the work, and you're actually not happy because I'm not doing your life when it's none of my business. So I am not a CFS official. I'm just a very active member of the community. And I believe or I dream that I'm somebody Daniel respects because even with a mentor before, I'm the kind of member who definitely gets shit done and who does say it when it's shitty, even to the boss of the community or whatever. I was in the community of Daniel's mentor a few years back. He interviewed me. He was impressed. And I was like, hey, yo, white dude, are you ready to realize that you need to stop being the white dude? Okay, I didn't say this word. He didn't like it. That's who I am. I'm just ready to get that shit done, no matter how it needs to be done. So, okay. So the official time is now. So I'm just going to make sure that the people who said they wanted to show up are not sending messages because they are a hard time joining. I know that I'm not that great with Zoom, and sometimes I don't master it that well. And I know that also with the time differences and stuff. Non, mais elle se fout de ma gueule, elle. Atma, if you get this recording, you're way all over the place. I've tagged you everywhere with the link. You need to better your organization, sister. You really need to have a better organization. I'll be honest with you, I don't like disorganized people. I mean, I work with disorganized people because I like disorganized people who are ready to get organized. But I definitely don't like people who are disorganized and find excuses to explain that it's not their fault. Oh, yeah? I really don't like excuses. I've been trying to not say it for a long time because I was trying to be swell. I really hate excuses. Like, I really do. Excuses are worse than hypocrisy. Actually, they are hypocrisy. That's probably why I hate them. Girl, just say I'm confused and all over the place, and I should have given you my email, which I didn't do, or whatever, or I don't have a calendar. So don't tell me where is the link when I send it to you everywhere. So I'm gonna be a bitch, by the way. So if you can't take a bitch, you won't like this because this is not about sucking each other's faces and not being honest. I'm definitely not being me. Dishonesty will never make me feel safe. Never, never, ever, ever. Okay, let me try and focus and find the link for Mama Atma. I think she has a certain age too. My uncle just died a few days ago, and I have to admit that me realizing that he has a certain age also helped me be more patient with him because I'm really losing my patience with old people who can use Facebook for everything but the right thing. And I'm like, your intentions are not aligned. So, Mama Atma, if you see that, you might not like it, but I hope as being in that group will help you with that kind of stuff. I know what it is to be all over the place. And at the end, we use that as an excuse to never do exactly what we said we're going to do. And then say it's because I was doing all this other stuff. But all this other stuff is not what you said you would do. And seriously, that's really the kind of heart to heart support I'm talking about. I'm not talking about shit about like being like, oh, poor you forever. Definitely not. I cannot deal with this energy. And to be honest, I will not tolerate this energy ever because that's the energy that is killing people. Us, my people, we don't have the privilege to be able to just whine for hours because we need to eat every single day. So if we don't get the right shit done to eat at the end of the day, after more than 40 days, we die. And we don't have, like, we've done that before. Everybody knows Jesus Christ and shit. So you don't want to do that every day. So stop whining. I just kidding. Who's that? You guys, I'm not disorganized. So she saw the Zoom. So now she has the Zoom, and I think the timing. Wait, she is asking me for the Zoom on the on the post where the link actually is. Yeah, that must be an ability to actually use Facebook, I think. Because now I'm realizing that the link is in how we call that, description of the post. Very first on yeah. So that's done. So yeah. To be honest, for this first one, I don't mind being alone because I've started something like this with French speaking chick as well. And we spoke 2 times. We spoke last week and yesterday and last Saturday, and it was awful for me, to be honest, because I am still working at um, attracting to me people that are at an equivalent level of mine, which I'm really having a hard time to. And most of the time, because I fail doing this, I end up being the leader of the thing, and it's not like a support for me because it makes me just work for free. And what I mean by free is not even that I don't have the money, is that most of the time there is not even consideration or uh, even simple gratitude. So that's really the biggest mistake I've made, and I really invite you to do that if you know what I mean. Hello, Trista Carrasco. I think we're gonna go back to saying our names afterward. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I'm just getting my glasses on. So hold on just a moment. Can you hear me just fine?
I do hear you because
Okay.
I hear with my eyes because your sentence was like, I cannot hear. I need to put my glasses before.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
You look like Oprah Winfrey.
Hopefully a younger version. Hopefully a younger version.
Man, that's Oprah. I don't even care what Oprah gets. It's Oprah Winfrey. I mean, wow, that's Oprah.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. Well, good morning. Well, it's morning here. I'm in Denver, Colorado. Where are you?
So I'm in the north of France. I'm above Paris.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
So it's 3 p.m. For me. Welcome. You're the first one to arrive, and I'm so grateful because we don't know one another. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, when I saw it in the group, I was like, this is what I need because I just bought the course, but I don't want to be one of those people that are like, it's been 3 years and now I'm back. I'm like, no, I want to launch and I want to get out of this hustle here in the US. I want to do my own thing. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, yeah. And as you've seen, it's recorded, and I've made an intro while I was waiting for you because I was doing exactly what I'm not. No, how can I say that? I was doing exactly the mistake. The reason why I created that group is because I keep making that mistake, which is putting pressure on myself. I'm always like, I need to prepare. I need, and I actually created this group, and I was like, you need to start by saying this is a non-pressure group.
Exactly.
And I think that paradoxically, this group will be the group where we come not to work, but because 1 hour a week we're going to be not working together, we're going to have better results at working.
I agree. I agree. And I love the fact that you put it together for women too, because we hopefully will support each other because that's kind of what I need right now. I'm not necessarily going to get it from my family, so it's nice to because for my family, it's like you have a good corporate job. Why don't you, and that's where they are. and they're not going to go beyond that. And that's okay. But it's not okay for me. So I'm kind of doing this alone, but I said, okay, this will be awesome with some other ladies that are wanting to do it too, right?
And I want to cry, but I'm also so grateful. Okay, you know what? It's been 10 minutes. And to be honest, I've shared all the information. And to be honest, the only one who's like making it difficult is the kind of reason why I started this group. And she's a white woman. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. So now I'm with my Black sister. This is recorded. And I say, if she gets in, she's going to see that. And she's going to have to be able to take it. If she can't take it, she's going to be out. I'm not doing this anymore. So
okay, friend, please continue. Go ahead.
No, because I was like, so let's launch things. I'm trying not to get too much ahead of myself. And I love what you were saying. So I was like, let's launch the thing now because we don't have reason to wait anymore. And we do, and it's enough. And I was like, now I want to know and understand who you are. So I'm like, okay, let's agree on what we do. So as we listen to each other, I was like, you were saying those things. And I was like, oh my God, wait, let's start the thing.
Yeah, you're so cute. Well, first, how do I say your name, or what would you like to be called? Yeah.
When you watch the replay, you're gonna see that I said that about it. Okay, so how do I say my name? So my full name actually is Bekwadi Adriana-Sophie. That's my legal name. Bekwadi being my family name. And Bekwadi is actually my mom's name because my mom was born in Cameroon. I was born in French. And the thing, this is a language in Cameroon. You have more than 500 languages in Cameroon. And this is Duala. Why are you opening your mouth like this about Cameroon? Did you do your DNA and your Cameroonian? Because we are
my dad is mostly Cameroonian.
Is he a Cameroonian?
I consider myself, I'm sorry, I've been to the continent. I consider myself a Black American, right? This is who we are. This is where my grandfather, I don't, identify as an African, if you will, because I'm a Black American. This is my country. This is where we come from. But my dad did do the DNA test, and he's like 60% Cameroonian and blah, blah, blah. And my mother is I don't know anything about the country. And my mother was mostly Sierra Leonean.
Okay. Oh, Sierra Leone. Oh my God.
No. Sorry. Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire.
I'm less surprised because Sierra Leone is not on the coast, and usually they took Beninese, Ivory Coast, and Cameroonian. So I was actually
okay. Sorry, I got confused.
It's
Ivory Coast.
Right. It's one of the big things I'm going to tell you. One of the big things I'm on now, and actually when I met Daniel, I think that's something that hit everybody in the CFS community because I was being this chick. First of all, nobody understands where I'm from, so everybody's confused. And we were in America, and I mean, my English is pretty good. Like some people think that maybe I'm American or Australian or whatever. No, the thing is I'm French, but the thing is I'm not French because I'm African. So anyway, I was thinking about all these things, and I was like, first of all, you guys, and to be honest, I feel like that was the first time in my life doing that. Because it's not that long ago that I realized that we as Africans, we did some bullcrap shit. And the thing is, since I'm young, I'm like, how can we mess up like this and then not respect like Afro-American or Caribbean and saying, oh, you don't even know Africa. Are you for real right now? You fucking sold me. You fucking killed me. I'm fucking alive and still you want to. And I was like, you guys are mad disrespectful, and I said that.
But you know what? I think there's a group of us, especially in my generation and younger, that are like, you know what? Even though it's under different circumstances, we've been here as long as the white people. Whether they were indentured servants or whatever, the true people are the Native Americans. These are the real Americans, right? So how we view it is, this is our country. We've been here just as long as the white people. We've under different circumstances, but let's get it. I'm an American. These are my roots. These are my grandfather, my great-father. You know what I mean? That happened so long ago. Let's get on with it.
I really hear you.
Into the bag.
Yeah, and that's why when you said I'm a Black American, I could feel that you had to justify because I can see how some people would get offended because you're supposed to be, why are you not proud to be African? But I'm like, you can't expect that from that woman. I mean, you're like, just be grateful that she's not just killing you on the spot. I mean, and I'm like, you guys need to stop. And I'll tell you, that's why people don't like me because I'm the queen of honesty. I am not your friend. I am not on your side. I'm on the side of what I've understood is true. I don't even care if I have to admit that I did bullcrap shit. So I was telling you about my name for this reason, Because when I started to understand history, the thing is, I was not born in Cameroon, but I had the African heritage. And you know what? My uncle just died. My uncle just died. And Black Panther, Wakanda forever is coming out tomorrow. With indigenous, what you just said, with indigenous. Black Panther is the real shit. Black Panther is not about Africa. And that's why for me, Black Panther is the real shit, because that's the Africa you can expect somebody to be proud of. Because I'm realizing a lot of things. But where I'm trying to go is that after I went to work in Cameroon as a working person, and I was so rich when I'm so poor in France. Yeah. And when I got back to France, and that was like 10 years ago, people were not using Facebook as we are right now with coaching and stuff. Facebook, especially for us French, because you need to understand that we're not American. So we don't even understand your tools. Facebook for us, it was basically texting people, but everybody at once. Facebook for us was basically like a messenger, like a group messenger. So people would post, hey, hello, my friend, blah, blah, blah. But me, I was not having the same experience like that than them, because most of them didn't even finish school. And I was already like working in Africa, coming back and thinking about what the hell is this man. So I started to post like, hey, how come I was with so many white people in Cameroon with money? So that would be the first question. Everybody, the Black would be like, yeah, why? And I was like, and then I would be like, but us Africans who are still on the continent, what did we do during slavery? Why they gone and we still there? And they're like, nobody likes the louder.
Nobody likes that part. Well, I don't care. But you know, if you think about it though, and I hate to say this, whether you believe in a deity or not, there's a reason why the countries are still mentally enslaved. They might not be enslaved, but there's a reason why they're still mentally enslaved a lot on the continent, and why they still, with the richest continent in the world, still cannot, you know, there's karma, right?
No, you know what? It's very paradoxal. And that's where I was coming at with my name, because I didn't get the question.
I was like, I'm gonna ask her, what should I call her?
No. I never. You know what they said? I'm bipolar because I go all over the place when I make an explanation. And I was like, I wrote a book. I think in the book there is a beginning and the end. I'm just explaining that you're asking me 10 questions and you can't follow myself. Yeah, but your brain goes too fast. I was like, this is a disease. What is the risk? The risk is your brain goes too fast. It's going to burn out. I'm like, you're a freaking Nokia 3310, like Nokia from 18,000. And because my brain is the Android, I am the disease because you can't take the amount of my brain. I was like, white people are really magical and us we follow. We agree. Mama, pardon.
What did you say? I don't speak French.
Because when I get very excited, I'll tell you, there's gonna be Turkish. If I get very real, you're gonna be very confused. But let's not get there.
Do you speak Turkish?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think I speak 8 languages or something. Sometimes I count it, sometimes I don't even care. As long as I can speak to the person I'm talking to. What I'm trying to say is, when I realized all these things, I built honesty. So the journey from honesty to peace, to actually find peace in myself. And I realized that, first of all, because you asked me how to call myself, I used to present myself as Adriana BITO, which sounds actually Italian. You know what I mean? I was putting that on my resume so as people don't really know who I am and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And you probably didn't see it, but that's an old post of mine on CFS. But I was like willing to die. I actually took action to actually die exactly a year ago. Today is my rebirth day. Today is actually the 7th of November of 2021. I took 3 times the amount of what you want to take to die. And I was like, God, I'm ready to leave your place. I already told you, and blah, blah, blah. Why am I saying that to you? Because we are on course from Strides, identity, my name. And after that, when I didn't die, which actually was the deal, I was like, I know I'm stuck on my journey from honesty to peace. I can see that my body is unnecessary on this planet, but I'm going to take this, and either I will meet you because my mission is finished, either I will wake up and understand what I couldn't understand before. So obviously I woke up, and then I started a journey, which is the journey of this year, where I was like, Culture Ad Lab. who are my identity. That's when I decided that the way I want to be called, I love people who call me Bekwadi, because Bekwadi, which is Duala, now you will understand maybe the link with everything we were saying, because you guys, I think most of the Afro-American, you are Cameroonian. To be honest, I knew that when I was a little girl, because we know our people. We recognize how, like, for example, Mary J. Blige, she looks like a Senegalese woman. And actually, she's one of the only star I knew when I was little. And I was like, she's Senegalese, but the other are Cameroonian. Because, you know, with my little girl brain, I just knew that you were like me and she was like my friend from Senegal. You know what I mean? So, so that's why I love to, first of all, share Duala with you guys, because it's going to activate stuff in your DNA. Because most of you, your DNA is in Duala. I believe that a lot of Afro-American have Duala DNA, because we were, like, if you see where Cameroon is, it's the port. It's exactly at the strategic place where the boat could live. And I don't know if you went to the Museum of Afro-American History in DC already.
No, I've never been.
I invite you if you're interested. But the thing is, at the time I went there, down below you had the entire history, and one of the first thing, you have this all on my Insta, 2 pictures. One of the first picture you see is the castle of a king. And now my friend, she's married to this castle. So she's the new queen of this kingdom. And for me, they sold the slave. And I keep telling her to change.
Instead of saying the slaves, the people who were enslaved is what I prefer.
Yeah.
Okay, just as a respect to the people, because we are not slaves, right? We were enslaved. Does that make sense? That's how we call it. So when you say, oh, the slaves, no, the people, because we were people. We could have been kings and who knows, right? But we were enslaved. So if you could use that term, that would be awesome.
I will be mindful of the term, because what you say is important, and I'm grateful. And exactly in the line of what I'm saying, I wanted to share the language with you. Asia. When you say something like this, I will answer Asia. Asia in Duala is a compassion word. It means I just heard that what you say is like, the word you use, kind of, I didn't like, you know? And Asia is like, oh, damn, let's it's not only, yes, okay, I agree. It's like, oh, damn, I heard it. And I'm like, you know,
you'll correct it. You'll
Asia is not about correction. Asia actually has nothing to do. Asia is really, it doesn't exist in most white people languages. You could say my condolences. Like, Asia is to express compassion. But it's a big word like that. We use that like, okay. So we can use it in different way. Like, for example, when I was little, I don't know if you have a sister or something like that.
I have 2 brothers. Yeah.
So if you have 2 brothers, let's say your brother fall in the floor and he hurts himself. Obviously, you're gonna be laughing, right? No, I'm not saying he's dying, but I mean he hurt himself, like he hit his nose and he's mad and he's just funny. But you acknowledge that he's probably hurt. You're gonna be laughing. You're gonna be like, Asia. I'm saying that everything that could have been. I understand that everything, but you have the compassion. That is the compassion and the understand. But I want you to go back to slave, because if you want to go into words, actually you are right. You and I cannot be slave, because you know where this word is coming from? Because the first people they wanted to enslave were the white people from east of Europe. And those people are called the slave. So they are the slave and we are the black. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I get it. I I do, but I think I'm is this what your course is about? Is this what your
No,
it's just
I was just trying to explain my name, but because you keep me and then we go everywhere, I never finish. No, I'm just trying to explain to you. No,
I understand, but I will tell you this.
If I want to make, you know what? I will make it short. That's why I wanted to do something else that we didn't do, but it doesn't matter. It's the first time. That's why I wanted to do a space for you to present yourself and a space for me to present myself. And most of the time, I don't present myself first, because every time I say stuff, people are like, what and what and what? And that's what I said to you. And then it goes very far. And then I'm like, don't interrupt me, because it's going to be my book again. It's going to be long. No, I'm still on my name. But because you ask question, then I go, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna make it short. You know, let's look at time. Give me 30 seconds top.
Yeah, it's that's seven, almost 7:30 here.
So you
Almost
look
7.
at the time, give me less than a minute, and I'm just gonna finish answer it because you asked me a question. But if you poo poo poo, I keep going because I'm so just
You
to
have lots
explain
of
my name
energy.
to you and that it's not just a word. That's why I'm saying all
Yeah.
these things to you. I'm
Yeah.
saying that there is a history, whether we want
Right.
it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And words have a power.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And my name is Bito Bekwadi, which is a language that most people that are now outside Africa with the African DNA are probably programmed with. So I'm just trying to explain to you how the word of my name and the way you will call me will also
Mm-hmm.
do something to your DNA. That's what I was trying to say.
Mm.
And this word is not any word. Bito means women, and Bikwadi means problem solving.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what I've been trying to say for the 20, but because of the
You're
question, I
like
was
my long way of telling you.
no, because I'm not, you know what? I'm not good at being interrupted because I answer everything because I'm excited and I can answer everything. So that's
Right.
why when we started, I was like, we need to have a space for you to start. And I would have loved for you to introduce yourself first because when I start speaking, then it goes it
Well,
goes
you
to
know what? This will be perfect for you because you're going to be selling yourself, right? And people are coming to hear you listen.
no,
So this is
it's not my sister, and that's why I created this group because I've been on this journey for long. Exactly the mistake you say you don't want to do, I've done it 10,000 times, and that's why I created this group. I've been on that journey for long, and that's a big mistake. That's why I'm not selling here. I'm really
mm.
just trying
No,
to
no, I
connect.
know.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to connect heart by heart, but I don't know on what. I think we'll see with all the sister that will come because that was something I wanted to say. Like we will look at who are coaches and who can coach. Like we will need to share the coaching work on how to have safe space communication, and
Mhm.
that's part of my course, but that's work for me. So now I'm
Mhm.
both speaking from my heart and making safe space communication coaching, which
Mhm.
which is, you see what I mean. So that's the first time. So of course we're gonna live and learn. That's why it's a bit much. So me, I'm trying to introduce myself as a human being. But as a
Yeah.
human being, as you see, I have a lot of knowledge. I have done a lot of things, so it goes very fast, and I'm very passionate. But my
Right.
name, because that was your question, is Bekwadi, but it's not a word. I was trying to have you to understand that just saying this name is a magical stuff for me and for you. That's why I
Mm.
was giving all this explanation.
So what does it mean again? Women?
So Bekwadi is actually problem solving. But
Mm.
I have on my personal Insta, yeah, let's call it my personal Insta. I share oh yeah, you don't need to know about my personal Insta, I'm very bad. You can check
Mhm.
the Instagram page called Teach Me Duala. On Teach Me Duala, you have the Duala word and you have the translation both in French and English. And the thing is, Bekwadi is plural, just like Bito is plural. That's what I was trying to explain.
Mhm.
So Bikwadi is plural, Bito is plural. Basically, actually, when you understand the story that I couldn't tell because of all the questions, is that I actually mean that us women, we are going to make peace in the world. That's what I was trying to explain. And
Mm.
it's in plural. So if you're going to teach me Duala, you will not see Bekwadi, you're going to see Equali. And the letter's going to be a bit different. That's why it's better if you look through me because I can't see how you can understand that by yourself. But just to say, Duala is an important language for, I think, the healing of Black women because we are part of the like racing people. We are like a lot of the DNA of the African diaspora around the globe. That's why I was saying. So those words that my name are very powerful.
Mm.
Women can solve the issue. Women, and that's the energy I'm trying to bring to this support group. The women energy,
Mhm.
and actually I said it in intro. For me, the women energy, me, I know that in this group to be supported, I will ask to avoid debate, avoid being agreeing or disagreeing and stuff. That's why I'm like, this space is really not a working space. It's not a showing brain space. It's really I speak at the at the first person, space to just be able to be. Because I won't lie to you, a woman like me, it's really hard for me to just be because I'm so solar that people want to know more and stuff. And I'm so excited that I do it. But then at the end of the day, I'm alone in my house with no more energy. And I'm like, I need 1 hour a week with my sister who are big too, where we're just human beings trying to keep going.
I see.
You see what I mean?
I see the kind of ethos of what you want to do with the group. So, okay. All right.
So now that you know my name and everything about me, what about yours? What's your name? How you would like to be called, and what do you expect from this group?
Right. So my name is Trista. My last name is Simpson. Carrasco is my former last name. I used to live in Spain for 10 years when I married a Spaniard. So,
¿Hablas español? ¿En España?
Sí, claro que sí.
¿A dónde?
De Sevilla.
Oh, ok. No conozco a Sevilla. He trabajado en Cataluña.
Uh-huh.
So, that's great. Yeah, okay. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I want to know more about that. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so I live here. I've lived in Spain. I lived in Europe for a little bit, and then I lived in the Middle East. So I lived in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And now I'm back here in the US. And it's myself and my children here in the US. And I don't know what else you want me to know. I work for a company where I do trainings. I travel all over the US and Canada. I also live in, I also work in Latin America and the Caribbean in the Spanish speaking countries because I speak Spanish. So I train there. But I guess my journey to why I joined this course, again, I've only been like a month into it, was just to try to get out of the rat race because corporate America kills people and they really don't care. So I find my soul just really not into it. And I know just because I have traveled and worked and lived so many places, my voice is something that people need to hear and my experiences, and people just are drawn to me for some reason. So there's a light inside of me that I think other people need to be able to feel and hear. And I need to be able to monetize that for myself so I can make my life better, my children's life better, and I can hopefully move back to the Mediterranean and just, have my courses and live my life. Does that make sense? Because that's, for me, the Mediterranean is like my home. That's where I feel the most safe and the most comfortable, even though I am an American, right? So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Yeah.
That's funny how we feel safer outside of home, because my first how you call that, like my first drive when I started my entrepreneurial journey like 8 years ago or 7 years ago was actually to be able to sustain myself in Australia, where I was when I started.
Okay.
And Australia is like, you cannot go further from home.
You're at the bottom of the earth. We visited there on a family vacation when I was like 13 years old. So it was a long time ago, but we enjoyed it. So
yeah, by the way, yeah, when you were speaking, because I didn't want to interrupt, and I was so grateful like to receive everything you shared. Thank you for that. I was wondering, so where were you born and where are your parents from again? So as I can understand your journey from where you came from to all this travel.
Yeah, sure. So my mom and dad are from Houston, Texas. So that's where the roots are. But my dad, maybe when I was like I don't consider myself a Texan, and that's just an American thing because we do it by state, right? Maybe when I was like 6 or 7, we moved to California. And that is like, I consider myself a Californian, and there's so much diversity and freedom there that's kind of like where my life, that's where my brain is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. Then the Spanish and stuff now makes sense to me, because I understand a little bit of the different culture. And it's funny because I had the same experience in France. I was born in Paris, and being Parisian is not the same as being a suburban of Paris.
Right.
So at 7, actually me, I was 6 to 7. We moved to the suburbs.
Okay.
So my identity shifted as well, just like yours. And I've been presenting myself as this hood suburban girl. And now that I'm back at being myself, like I'm 33 now. I'm 33. I wanted to ask you how old you are. I'm 33 now. And I think with my rebirth birthday today, today is actually day 1 of the BITO that I am. And I'm not, and that's why I was explaining my name, because I am not even a woman. I am a woman. because my name means women in Creole, but I'm now in my adult self. And it took me a long time to admit that I'm also a bit Parisian in terms of my privileges. And that's why I was trying to tell you with all this story, because I used to put myself as this, I'm poor, I'm suburban, I'm African, which is poor as well. You know, all the part of my identity that were like on this side of the intersectionality scale. And now that I've done all this work and got to the point where I am Bekwadi, to answer how do I want you to call me. And that's why I give all my names, because all my names give also all my stories. And I'm at the stage in my life where I want to be all of me. I don't want to let anything, maybe because I don't have the children yet. So all my little personalities at the old of me, and I'm like, I cannot let any of my children, even if this one is very annoying. And that's funny how our stories are very, like, now that I've understood the beginning, because it's hard for me, but I feel like there is a huge parallel between our stories. How old are you?
I'm not going to tell you how old.
Okay.
I was like, wait, we'll have to meet in Paris and have a few drinks before I tell you that.
No, we don't meet in Paris, and that's gonna change your life. You come to where I live, because I live in the Poudlard of France. I didn't know such a place existed in France. You know how you said you live? It's the north of France. I live in the north of France. So not far from the coast with the sea. So you want to go to the Mediterranean? I'm gonna show you that's the wrong sea. You actually want to go to the North Sea, because you probably don't know it.
You know
it? Do you know it?
I do, but I also know myself, and I love the Mediterranean people. That's why my children are half Mediterranean. I do believe in roots and things, and I don't want to get too into it, but like lives before, those are my people. I'm at home in Spain and Italy. Those are my people. That's it. So
I admit that I really loved living in Spain. When I'm saying north, it's because I'm talking when you're in France. But I admit that I really enjoyed living in Spain, and I really don't regret choosing Spanish as a third language, because for me, if you can speak an African language, English and Spanish, you got it all. And that's why I'm excited about Black Panther, because that's the very first people who have all the world DNA. That's the languages, you know what? You have the Spanish vibe, and you have the structure of the English, and you have the spirit of the African or Blackness. Let's call it Blackness. I think that would be more accurate, because it's not only Africa, but Blackness, because you have like Indigenous in Australia. And then I feel like humanity is more as a whole, when you have those three big, if you want to speak, I'm talking at the highest level of humanity. So I think that's why we have so many similarities, because we have those three big things. But I was just joking with you, but the thing is, 10 minutes left, because the reason why I was trying to tickle you is because I don't know, when you talked about Texas, I could feel a distance, and to be honest, it made me think about the distance I feel about Paris. So now, you know what I mean? I was born in the region of Paris, but I didn't want to be there, to the point where I ended up in Australia, you know? So I traveled the world because I wanted to flip France, because Paris was France. And now I'm 30. At 30, God made me live here in the north of France. And now I'm like, I am home. And that's just like 50 kilometers away from me, but it's north instead of south.
And there's a huge difference. There's vibes, there are energies that each city carries. And it's so funny that you said that you went all the way to the bottom of the earth to get away. And I left because I don't feel, even though this is my country, I do know, again, because I've traveled so many places, the Mediterranean is where I'm supposed to be. I just need to figure out how I can live my best life there. Does that make sense? I'm not going to make €1,000 a month. So, because I am American, right? We make money. So, you know, and I've lived in the Middle East. It's like I've been searching for my place.
Yeah.
And when you find it, your spirit knows. Your spirit knows.
Exactly. So. And that's where, because I've made, so this, what you're saying is what I felt when I lived. I felt it many times. I wanted to stay in Australia, to be honest. I was like, Australia is where I can live and see myself do this, you know? But I didn't stay, and I kept going and I kept going. And then I went to America as well and stuff. And I could never settle. But I know that I needed to make that money, and then I'm back to Australia or maybe America. You know, that's how I was seeing those things. Or or Cameroon, because Cameroon is where, or Africa is definitely where I want to, like my official home needs to be in Africa. That's always been my plan, but it never worked. I tried everything, it never worked. And what happened is I finally was forced to come back to France that I was trying to flee, but I'm not in Paris. I'm now in the north of France. And for the first time in my life, me who was thinking that my home was somewhere across the sea, I have found this energy that I thought existed only there, but in a place in France that I'd never seen before.
Wow, that's great.
And that's what I'm saying is very new to me, because in my story, actually, I've been a homeless. I left my mom at 18, and since I was 18, I never stayed anywhere for more than 18 months. So I basically lived in, I don't know, 10 places. Sometimes I count and I forget, because I'm always like moving, and I'm moving countries, moving continents, like, because I'm searching that place everywhere on the planet. And now it's been 3 years that I'm here. First time of my life since I was at my mom's that I'm settled and I feel home, even if I don't, that's not my favorite place to live, but that's home, just like you're back in America now.
Right.
And I'm like, for the first time I'm settled, and I'm like, oh, I hear that message that I didn't want to hear, which is, yes, you're going to get to go wherever you want, but to be able to have a stable life, a stable business, like culture ad, if I had to use the CFS language, you cannot lie about your culture ad, and you're French, you want it or not, but you are not Parisian. And that's why I was saying that to you. And what you said, I connected, because I was like, maybe you don't feel Texan, maybe you don't feel Californian, but you feel, as you said, Mediterranean, and and you will try with your business and business and business, and somehow you will, I don't know, move in this new town for XYZ, and you'll be like, oh, that's the vibe. Not because that's where you're going to be for the rest of your life, but because that's where you're going to prepare properly. You got to prepare properly to go where you right you need to be. And that's really the story of my death and my rebirth. I didn't want to accept that I needed to prepare, because I got it all figured out, because everything was written, because it was kind of working. Because when I was pushing, I was getting in. I was like, no, I keep going. And God was like, stop, my children. Yes, you're right. This is where you need to go in 100 years, or even in 10 days. But for you to be there in 10 days, I need you to accept to be in the present right now. And my present has been 1 year for now. But that's really the big feeling of me being called Bekwadi, because it still come back just to this name. And when I hear you, I hear those things as well, like traveling, looking, and having this surprise. There is a song, actually. There is a guy very well known. He has a song, and he says, dans le fond, je crois que la terre est ronde, pour une seule bonne raison. Après avoir fait le tour du monde, tout ce qu'on veut, c'est être à la maison. So what he says is, at the bottom of the story, I do believe that the world is round, because after I've traveled the entire world, all I want is to be home. And the funny thing is, I was listening to this song. I was in Cameroon, and Cameroon is my home. And I was born in Paris thinking, this is not my home. I want to go back to Cameroon. So really, that's this idea of traveling and then going back to the kind of same place, but actually, no, just an inch. I don't know if you're like me, but anyway, I'm not going to say that. But an inch next, and then, bah, it works. So when I hear you, I can hear those things again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And on your birthday too, a good way to bring it all together, right? Your rebirthday.
Yeah, that's right. Because like I was like, my birthday. So yeah, the rebirthday. I mean, this day means that, because that's the first time of my life that I'm settled. I mean, I've been fighting to embody my vision for forever, actually, but for 10 years consciously, and I failed. And that's the first year that I finally have what I want, which is peace. So I'm being me, I'm being free, I'm being ready. I don't need to ask anybody. And of course, that's going to be my speech. I'm going to be like, okay, I always knew what I wanted. I always knew how to do it. I could always do it, but I could never just pause a minute. And now that I'm in my new life where I didn't want to be, now that I've accepted to be where I didn't want to be, I'm being happier than ever. Not because that's where I'm going to be forever, but because learning how to be in the present is how now I'm at peace that I'm going to get where I want, but I don't need to rush it. I don't need to push through. I don't need to force it because I've done the work. And for me, that's 1 hour is about that. It's about, yeah, just contemplating how it's done or it's not, but present and the present of the present. And present is a, you know that in French, present, no, I'm confused with the languages. Present is a gift, but present means el presento. No, el presento doesn't exist. It's a present, but in English, it's a present as well. Future, present, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So present both means present, gift, and my uncle who's died 2 days ago, his name was Jabea, and Jabea means present as well. So that's just the gift of just accepting what is, while I know what will be. And now I'm unstuck because I've been stuck for 30 years, no matter how efficient I was. So yeah, I'm so grateful for that. We have 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something for us to close up? And yeah.
No, it was just a pleasure getting to meet you today and just kind of understand, you know, the ethos of what you want or your vision for the group. And yeah, that's it. That's all I had to share.
I hope next time, if you okay with that, you come again. I hope I see you again because for me that was just the beginning, and I'm so excited to know more. And I hope next time maybe you can take the lead on the group. I can keep organizing and planning, no problem, but you can take the lead and show us your vision for the group so as we can, you know, each time maybe having a different vision for the group. So as
Right.
it's
Well, email me because I travel. I was just thinking that before we got here, because I travel so much, the time, like this time next week, I'll be on an airplane. Does that make sense? So it's my schedule's a little crazy with my work.
So what we can do, you can do is you use your Google Calendar. Either you say the new time that you want, and if it's only
Okay.
you and me and we agree, we go. And if there are
Okay.
other people who are there at the normal time, I'll let you know. So
Okay.
that works?
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, sweetie. Enjoy your Monday, right? It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.